peer receivers better than him, but he had 1,400 yards. You can't take that away from him as a
Real quick.
receiver.
Oh, go
So,
ahead.
now, I
Anything
was
else?
just gonna say he's a talented player, man.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully you're still here. I didn't see this question till now. It came in like 1 minute ago, but this is an interesting one. And I forgot to ask you this as well. Any thoughts on Hassan Ridgeway? Like give us a little bit of a profile if you know any of this guy, because
Yeah,
it looks like he might actually be our starting. Like we have a good pass rush, but we have a little bit of a weak nose tackle. Like it's between a few guys that could plug and play, but he's like right now one of the top guys. So any thoughts on Hassan Ridgeway, and can you tell us anything?
yeah. So I know you guys lost DJ Jones, and I'm a big fan of
Yeah,
DJ
he
Jones.
was big.
Yeah, but Hassan Ridgeway, when he's on the field, he is a dynamite player. Like I've seen this guy do a lot of things that wasn't like I thought he was a defensive rotation, but whenever he played the game, he gave a lot of juice and energy to the field. And it took away from a guy like Fletcher Cox because Fletcher Cox was not, majority of the time he was on the field. So it was like whenever he needed a breather, Hassan Ridgeway was that guy that went in. The only thing that you have to worry about with Ridgeway is injuries. That's the only thing that
Yeah.
hurts him. He's a talented player. The guy's a good run stuffer. And he brings a lot of juice and energy to the field. It's just that I think with like a guy like him, it's just he's more of a like injury. He's like last year for most of the season, he was on the like IR for most of the season.
Ooh.
So that's the only thing that you have to worry about him. He's a good player, though. I will say, he's a very talented player that comes in, brings a lot of juice.
Yeah, it seems like the 49ers always they always get these players. It's a trend that are cheap, they're good, but they always have like these injuries, and they're always like they always have these question marks. But since we have such a good defensive line coach, we always think we can fix them. And I'm not really sure how I feel about that system of like we'll bring in these broken players that like need another spark in their career because they're riddled with injuries. And sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. Like Arden Key, it worked out. There was multiple. Hold on, who's the other guy that we have? Kerry Hyder, it worked out. So there's multiple guys there, but it's a little I'm a little bit scared because we do this year after year, and it's just a little hard to contemplate that we have all these players in the roster that could all be on IR by week 6. So that's a
Yeah.
little scary to think about.
I think the most underrated draft pick for you guys, though, and he was one of my favorite players in the draft process, to be honest, is Drake Jackson. He has a lot of talent and potential and a ceiling to where it's just, I think he needed the right team to develop him. And I think the Niners could be that team. You
Yeah.
have Nico Ryans, one of the best DCs in the NFL. You go to a team like that, and he already plays in that environment already. He's around that Bay Area, so I think this is a good option and a good landing spot for Drake Jackson.
Yeah, USC. I remember I read something about them like that they brought in like halfway through his career. They brought in like a new defensive. No, was it defensive line coach or defensive coordinator that like changed his position, and he had to like. I'm pretty sure he had to like slim down because no, yeah, he changed him to more of like a zone linebacker coverage type of guy. I remember a story about that. So if he again, I think he was in his last years during USC, I think he was a little bit. I think it was his last year that he was not as good because he was playing more linebacker. So if you're the 49ers, put him at edge rusher because that's where he's going to be thrive, especially
Mm,
behind it kind of goes back to like Nick Bosa in year one when he had Nick Bosa is now going to be getting double teamed. But then Nick Bosa in year one, because you had D Ford and Eric Armstead and DeForest Buckner, he was getting single teams, and that's really what made him break out. So I could see that as like, he had 9 sacks that year, so I could see Drake Jackson being like an 8-9 sack player as well,
yeah,
because of the single teams that he's going to be getting. So
but Nick Bosa is a strong guy, man. He bulldozes people, so even if there's like 2 people in front of him, he's gonna just find a way to move that out of the way.
yeah, I mean, I last year like it was that's the thing. That's why